Everyone. Enough is enough. These were the words of President Bola Tinubu as he met for more than 2 hours with the nation's security chiefs at the State House in Abuja. The president condemns the senseless targeting of innocent Nigerians in Benue, Borno, Plateau and Kwara states. He has now demanded an urgent action to end the escalating violence in these states and gave the order for an immediate and comprehensive overhaul of security strategies. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, told newsmen that the service chiefs briefed the president on all the attacks in the state, the death toll and the destruction of properties. Joining me tonight to analyze these issues is a security consultant, former senior lecturer at Kebbi State University of Science and Technology, Dr. Farouk Abdullahi Mayama. Good evening, Dr. Mayama. Welcome to Politics Tonight. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Can you hear me, Dr. Farouk?
Yes, I'm with you.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. So, the president has given an order, this time a security outreach to the hotbeds of recent killings. Look at Plateau states, Benue and Borno, to restore peace to areas racked by mass killings and bomb attacks. During the Easter celebration, he, assured Nigerians that his administration remains committed to restoring peace and security across the country. Our first question to you tonight is, can Nigeria reclaim security and public faith?
Yes, it's very good that Mr. President is committed to security and that he is making all efforts to ensure security of lives and the properties across the country. But the situation is far more complex than that. We need to involve the communities right from the grassroots. We need to involve all the stakeholders, and we also need to involve traditional rulers and also need to involve community leaders and religious leaders in order to address the fundamental root causes of these communal crashes and armed banditry.
So if we was to take a look at Kebbi State, for instance, where Governor Nasir Idris has said he would not tolerate insecurity in his state. He has also urged, residents to cooperate with security operators. The state government suspended mining activities in 2023, but how far have these measures gone in reducing violent attacks on the people? There was an attack recently which, many considered a retaliatory attack on the people of Benue village. How has the Kebbi State government strengthened security in that state?
Well, the Kebbi State government is really trying its very best to improve and enhance security. Because, as I earlier mentioned, security issues are multifaceted. Some of the root causes include unemployment. And in Kebbi State, the governor directed the recruitment of 2,000 teachers, which reduced drastically level of unemployment in the state. And also, he is massively supporting security agents and security agencies generally with provision of motorcycles, motor vehicles in order to reach the hook and the current needs of the state. Our fundamental problems is we have two international borders in Kebbi State. We have a border with Niger Republic. We also have border with Benin Republic. All of which these people that are coming from Libya, from some other parts of the Mediterranean areas, have easier access to that because our borders are so porous that we need to address the issues of porous borders seriously. In Kebbi State, the good aspect of that is that communities are being mobilized by the state government to share intelligence information with security agencies. Then the government is also trying to empower the security agencies so that they can respond quickly to distress calls from members of these communities. Because one of the fundamental accusations against the security agencies is that they don't respond promptly to distress calls by localities. And you don't blame them because they are facing serious shortage of equipment, they are facing serious shortage of vehicles, they are facing serious shortage of logistics. And I think it is very important for the federal government, whose security agencies are directly answerable to provide them with thinks that they can respond to distress calls quickly and effectively and efficiently, like provision of helicopters. I always say the government or the federal government have enough funds to buy helicopters for the police and the army all over the country, in all states of the federation. If you look at the amount of money that are budgeted for security, I think it will be enough to buy helicopters and also technological surveillance equipment across the country.
And sadly, this month has been quite horrific for Benue and Plateau states. I mean, in Plateau alone, over 100 people were massacred in less than 2 weeks by mass murderers. Houses were burned, and as a result of this, thousands of citizens now live in IDPs. Most disturbing is the fact that this form of tragedy has become too common in many communities in the state, and Benue State as well. How do you assess the security challenges in each of these states?
Well, the security challenges in Benue and the Plateau states is well known to most Nigerians. For instance, we know it is generally as a result of tribal and religious differences that are happening in those states of the country. We know that they used to have amicable relationship between the Fulani pastoralists and the indigenous of the area. We also know that they used to have good relationship between various religious groups in both Benue and the Plateau states. But in recent years, because of political instigation, because of political maneuver, because of political incitements, these people found themselves, at loggerheads with each other. And I'm happy Mr. President have decided to send the Vice President to meet with those communities, more especially in Plateau State, in order to promote inter-tribal, inter-communal, and inter-religious interactions between the communities. Because without understanding, without amicable, settlement between the communities, I don't think any effort to address the challenges through military action will succeed. What we need is to promote inter-religious and inter-tribal and inter-ethnic harmony between these communities. When you live with people for more than a century together, living happily with each other, you don't just wake up one night and say, these people are not part of you, these people are not from that place, these people should vacate the land, these people should, something that they inherited from their forefathers, that you want to chase them away. You are causing trouble. And that is why it is very good to promote understanding with each other. Almost every Nigerian, know that the most serious problem is intercommunal and inter-ethnic and inter-religious conflict. And we need to address that aspect.
Right, but for Benue State, the governor had said these are genocidal orchestrations. Do you advise that we expedite action on state police?
No, I don't. As a former national chairman of Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, I don't accept and I don't believe in state police. We have so many problems in Nigeria that kick against state police, establishment of state police. We have political differences that people can use politics to attack. We have experience of that. When we used to have NA police, we know what happened in the West with Operation Weti. We know what happened in the North with Salama. We know what happened in the East. All this because of this NA police that were under the control of regional government in those days. And that is why the military decided to aggregate and scrap those NA police. So if we decide to bring them back now in form of state police, state governments can use them against their political opponents. State government can use them against masses to intimidate them. And state government can use them during elections. Once they are established as formal police officers, you cannot stop them. And they may end up a situation whereby they can be used against one ethnic group against the other in their own area where they are called non-indigenous. Right. Nigeria should promote indigenization of Nigerians in all parts of the country.
All right, Dr. Farouk. Now, you've asked the federal government and state government to promote inter-religious, inter-ethnic, and inter-tribal harmony. And you've also said state police is a no. So what other options are available for us?
The best option is to one, address issues of incitement against various tribes, various religions, and various ethnic groups. People, use social media to incite against each other for political reasons, and they are not punished. They are not prosecuted. And if you don't prosecute people that incite against people against one another, I think this thing will only continue. People who decide to mobilize people based on ethnicity, based on religious difference, based on tribal differences, and they go and punish. They are not prosecuted. Nobody challenges them. Then it's given a very bad example to some others also to follow suit. And we are seeing what is happening now in different parts of the country. People with of religious sentiment, people with of tribal sentiment and ethnic sentiment against one another, and which is leading to all these sort of problems. And what we need is to make sure that those who incite people using social media or whatever form of media to incite people against each other should be prosecuted. Because without for an offense, then that offense has a tendency of repeating itself.
All right, Benue State has a new CP in the person of Emenare Ifai. He has pledged to strengthen community policing for the protection of lives and property in the state. What's your advice to him?
Well, my best advice to him is to first and foremost meet with various stakeholders of security. And those stakeholders of security include not only the armed men, not only the police and soldiers and other personnel, security personnel, but also civilian security personnel, like the PCRC members, like the vigilante groups, like the religious leaders. They are all, and even traditional rulers, they are all security stakeholders. He needs to meet with them. He needs to address the root cause of the problem and use them to achieve the objectives of inter-religious, inter-community, and inter-ethnic harmony between them and the other people.
And also, it's important to state that security experts have become very divided on whether or not these governors are on top of the game, whether or not these governors have what it takes to protect their people. But most of them have said the governors can do more than talking. But these days, it's either the accused traditional rulers and local authorities of collaborating with the bandits to cause mayhem among innocent citizens, or they blame military personnel for what they call the lackadaisical attitude. What more can these governors do?
Well, governors can do a lot. After all, they are the chief security officers of their respective states. Like what is happening in Kebbi State. You can see what the governor is doing in terms of empowering security agencies to, fight this armed banditry. And trying also recruit people, employ them, create opportunities for them, like trying to establish in partnership with international investors, the industry known as cement company, and other industries like the one that is being proposed in Gaski, local government area. All these, I think that will create employment, because they say an idle mind is the devil's alternative. In most states of the federation, governors have stopped, recruiting people. I don't see why they should stop recruiting people. After all, their own revenue from the federal federation account has increased drastically. So why should they stop? In some states, they don't even pay salaries on time. In some states, they don't even pay pension and gratuities. Why? With all the increased billions and the billions of naira that they are receiving. And they should employ people, they should recruit people, they should create opportunities, not just construct, roads and houses, but they should also create industries that can recruit people. Partner with some other international agencies in order to establish industries that can recruit people. Most of the industries that we inherited from the First Republic are now or have already left the country. What happened? Why should
Dr. Farouk, you know, one thing we have all agreed on is that this is a major setback for the northern part of the country and calls for serious action, rightfully stated by the president. But there are several military operations in the north. There are security experts at the moment calling for a review or rejuvenation of some of these military operations across the northern states. And let me be very specific. I was speaking with a security consultant, Dr. Kabir Adamu, who says Operation Zadin K, Operation Rainbow, Operation Safe Haven, at this point, is this a necessity?
Well, you see, the issue of security needs a holistic approach. You don't address security based on just whims and caprices of some officers. What we need is to address security holistically. If you are addressing security in Kebbi State, those that you are pursuing will move to Niger State, or will move to Sokoto State, or will move to Zamfara State. Why don't you cordon off? You have enough security to cordon off Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara at the same time, and try to arrest these people. But when you address them kind of state-by-state operation, you are, giving them room to move from one state to the other. After all these states are linked together through different forests, right from Borno up to Kebbi, up to Niger, up to Sokoto, up to Zamfara. All this forest is linked together. In fact, even up to Chad Republic. And once you don't address this issue of security challenges holistically, then there is bound to be repetition of insecurity from one state to the other. You chase them from one state, they move to the other. I believe they come back to that same state. All
right. Great conversation tonight. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I guess we can wrap it up at this moment. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Farouk Mayama. I appreciate your time with us. Thank you. All right, let's go on a short break, and when we return, we'll turn our attention to politics. Stay with us, everyone.